Okay. So you are not satisfied with how I expressed my opinion in the previous video. Oh well. Let's do it again then. Let's see. I am assuming you are already familiar with what 3IAtlas is supposed to be, but if not, by mainstream sources, it is a newly discovered interstellar comet, meaning it originates outside our solar system. Officially, only third interstellar one ever seen, following 1I, Oumuamua, in 2017, and 2I, Borisov, in 2019. I didn't give much attention to it in the past months, but since the topic seems to have flooded the media, both mainstream and alternative, with speculations running rampant, I have recently felt the pull to share a few comments. Right off the start, I must state I have no way of knowing, I think no one does, what the object is or is not and whether it even exists. But I will share what I feel and know based on our 7-year interaction with the Taygetan and Swaruunian crew. I will be honest. For me, it's not about the object itself. Whether it is a comet, a naturally appearing phenomenon, even if interstellar, or, as some say, a spaceship, obviously there are spaceships out there, or why are we suddenly surprised, does not play a significant role here, or none at all, but rather why we are given the story. The object itself probably does not present any significance in the grander space reality scheme of things. The social engineering behind it is more important, as that's what usually these types of narratives are about. Whether based on true elements or not, it's the perception guiding mechanism behind it what should be our concern. Nothing that happens in the mainstream happens just because. It is almost always designed. First, who is the source of the information? NASA itself, which we already know not to trust, even though obviously they don't lie with everything, like with the shape of the Earth. In July 2nd, it was reported that ATLAS survey telescope in Chile had discovered an interstellar comet. ATLAS is a NASA-funded asteroid detection system operated by the Institute for Astronomy at the University of Hawaii, and its purpose is planetary defense. Okay, so Chile, Hawaii, it's still NASA though, so not a good start. They also have photos of this thing. Wait a second, so NASA have photos of the comet, which as we speak is on the far side of the Sun from Earth and passing near the orbit of Mars, but they forget to mention 900 or more spaceships parked just in front of our noses in the orbit of the Earth, of which they must know, but simply not care to tell people about? They might respond saying that this specific ATLAS telescope doesn't search or detect non-natural, super-fast moving objects, and it is optimized for objects millions of kilometers away. Obviously just an excuse, because NASA has plenty of telescopes and projects, and for sure they know about all other spacecraft trafficking around Earth. We all know what it's really about, maintaining the secrecy. That's why, for me, it is not about the object itself. Comets and spaceships are out there, no biggie. But about what those who manage NASA from behind choose to share with the people, when and why. About it being a starship, a few words as a side comment. True advanced interstellar extraterrestrial ship with the full hyperspace supraluminar technology, so-called warp, will not be seen moving across the sky continuously, only when close to the planets, because of space protocols that dictate to only use propulsion, for example with plasma drives, when in vicinity of high space traffic or planets, during which time it could be seen. Otherwise, the way it travels is by hyperspace jumps, where it simply adjusts its frequency values and manifests at the destination, disappearing out of sight during the process. It doesn't move. 3IAtlas is seen moving, and it has not been observed to ever vanish and reappear suddenly. When it gets closer to the Sun, it gets brighter. In deep space, it fades to a faint point of light, but never vanishes entirely. If it's a spaceship, why not travel using hyperspace? We have technically detailed videos on this topic, by the way, in the Stellar Navigation series. Another point, what boggles me is that there are thousands of photos and videos taken by ordinary citizens all the time of all kinds of unexplained aerial phenomena, but only when the officials choose to decide to share something, providing it's even true, the whole Earth community, including the alternative ones, holds their breath in anticipation. Why what is official always attracts more interest, even from our own so-called awakened circles? Even if the object was artificial or a spaceship, why so intrigued? Just above our heads, only 500 kilometers up, there are hundreds of spaceships of all shapes and sizes, in transit or stationary at all time, much larger than 5 or even 11 kilometers wide that 3IAtlas is claimed to be. Look at the size of Andromedan Viera hiding so close to Earth. What is new and special about the fact that there might be a spaceship out there? Don't we already know that? I always say I don't care about lights in the sky, UFOs, above my head, or not much. Why would I care about the one I can't even see super far away? And hey, it very well might be a starship, who knows? As we were explained, the cabal very often disguise facts as something else, communicating in codes. And whenever there is a mention of the asteroid, which is not really a comet but close enough, it is really a spaceship. In 2023, Athena said, "Cabal is saying that there is an asteroid that will pass near Earth by December 27th or 28th. And it's just an Andromedan supply ship for the Viera, and it's scheduled. There is no danger." Beside that, Athena expressed she didn't understand why so much attention on the asteroids all the time anyway. I don't understand why they claim to have eyes on the asteroids and even tell the population the size of each one passing at enormous distances when it is plagued by ships up here. It makes no sense to me. In fact, I don't have any particular asteroids on record around here. They always pass by and all the time. Some larger ones pass by too, but far away. Right, this one they claim is interstellar, and that's why more hassle. But I must ask, why have they only detected first interstellar object in 2017, second in 2019, and now a third one in 2025? Strange date, by the way, 2017, as it's when our Taygetan disclosure began, and when I supposedly came into the immersion. Sure, they will say their technology didn't allow for the proper detection before that. Still, pretty convenient timing, given that talks about disclosures and alien false flags agendas all fall right there in that timeline as well. Is it connected? Why suddenly draw people's attention outside Earth towards interstellar objects and have them speculate in a million directions, including the possible ET probes and crafts, hostile, positive, etc.? Isn't what all this is maybe about? Have humanity's minds slowly adjusted to the alien ideas, normalizing the subject for some type of a controlled, soft disclosure, and or testing our interpretations and reactions? Remember, the cabal never operates with only one goal in mind. They like to execute many. So it all might be serving several purposes at the same time, while people fight one another for which one is most correct. About testing the interpretations, I remember we were joking with Anneka one time, with her saying that if she threw a fake ET race description out there, she was sure many people would suddenly start channeling them or receiving messages. Obviously, it was said as a joke, but do you think the cabal is as kind? They most certainly devise all sorts of events and would be very interested in conjuring up celestial ones, especially these days, just to sit back and watch what we come up with as possible interpretations of that. They might need that kind of data to assess their further plans. The consideration of 3IAtlas as a possible ET technology might be the way to bring the alien topic into people's minds to analyze what we analyze, and then decide next plan as a result. One of those plans, let's not forget, is a blue beam type of alien invasion, a staged, feared ET threat, where one of their agendas, for example, would be promoting the possibility of hostile objects from space to give governments cover to increase funding for space weapons system. And yet another scenario would be the benevolent type of the takeover, loving Galactic Federation route, also with multiple possible agendas at play, which we discussed in the channel few years ago. Obviously, they are just saying it is a comet, consciously not steering anything. But it is us and our interpretations of the object and what it means is what might influence their plans and decisions as to how to proceed next. And about interpretations, I haven't looked into many, but one that makes me chuckle is the theory of it being a Galactic Federation vessel that is here to aid the humans, a sign of light and hope and of a better future. Obviously, no special Galactic Federation craft is a sign of anything, or rather, which one of them? They have so many, and belonging to many races working with them, and constantly cruising the solar system in all sorts of missions. It ain't a mystic sign, nor a messenger, just a damn ship, even if it was one, as Yaski or Athena would say. It reminds me of the situation with the previous 2019 Oumuamua object, when Svaru of Erra, when asked about it, only said, "That Oumuamua thing, we do not find any sense here to what they say, because there isn't only one ship out here. There are thousands, and in interplanetary and interstellar transit." As I said before, describing or being asked what Oumuamua is, it is as if they were telling you or asking you if in the street you have seen a strange metallic object with doors on the sides and which goes turning on a four-wheel base. There are so many ships, cars, that it is impossible to detect to which one they have pinned that Oumuamua name or however it is written. Therefore, for us, it is just another lie from NASA. They only see one ship about 100 meters long, quite small, and ignore other 357,000 that pass around the area every day. It is just so that humans think that NASA could detect anything that went through the solar system. The last sentence is an important point. Them saying they detected this comet also discredits all the other ET spacecraft always out there, because if they detect faraway distant comet like this one but don't report on anything else, well then it's because there is nothing out there, right? To throw in a fun fact, for those of you who are newer to my channel, many asteroids, actual asteroids, are actually starships inside. I will quote Svaru of Erra here again. A race captures an asteroid with the correct composition, usually metallic. They make it hollow, they put the motors in the back, cabin at the front, and there they have their ship. They save on having to install the hull, and this way they not only have protection from impact in space, but also camouflage. It must be clarified that this is a low-tech solution used by thousands and thousands of civilizations that are barely taking their first interstellar steps. For a developing race, making a 2-kilometer-long polymorphic titanium hull like this one is prohibited. They use asteroids, because in itself it is free, and in space the shape is quite irrelevant. So, in the end, who knows what the object really is? But the real question is, why are we told? False flags involving asteroids and comets have been used many times in the past. Also, to distract from anything else that is important that might be happening at the same time elsewhere on the planet. Is there anything like that happening anywhere at the moment? For me, it is utterly irrelevant what 3IAtlas is. Just another day in space, whatever it is. Unless I am wrong, and it is something totally unusual with unforeseen consequences to all. But I highly doubt it. In fact, the comet is said to begin to recede from the inner solar system in late 2025. It will be closest to Earth on December 19. And in 2026 onward, as they officially say, it will fade rapidly as it moves outward into interstellar space, never to return. Out of sight, out of mind, and that's what will happen.